Hey, what's going on, Hustle Nation? It's Johnny here. Today we're going to be talking about how to invest in Indian ETFs, okay? So, Indian exchange traded funds. We are looking at diversifying our portfolio into foreign stocks. And one of the most promising emerging markets to me is India. I'm a little bit familiar with Indian companies because I do talk a lot with Indian people actually in India right now, so they are familiar with the Indian companies, so I can bounce ideas back and forth with them. And right now it seems like a good time to invest. I'm a long-term investor. I'm not, a swing trader, day trader, nothing like that. So what we're talking about is a good ETF to invest in India for the long term, right? Because they're up and coming right now. Also, India's good, China's good. We won't talk about China right now. Leave me a comment below if you'll make another video about China. Right now they've been getting beat down quite a bit, so perhaps a good time to buy. But anyway, so today we're going to be talking about the best ETF for India that I found. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump right in and take a look. And today's video is sponsored by the subscribe button. Okay, so if you haven't hit that subscribe button, hit that button right now, as well as if you want to get free stock from Robinhood, hit the link in the description below to get your free stock on Robinhood. Okay, so, and Robinhood does have this ETF as well. This right here is the Franklin Templeton FTSE India ETF. Okay, so what is that? The profile first, before we look at the numbers, let's take a look at the profile. So basically what this, and you can read all this, but what this is the FTSE Indian Capped Index. It's based on the FTSE Index is designed to measure the performance of Indian large and mid-cap stocks. Okay, so the large and mid-cap stocks of India is what we're taking a look at. So first things first, let's go ahead and look at the returns that it's been making. And of course, the returns in the past don't mean the returns in the future. Yeah, let's take a look and see. So how's it performing? 1 year, 25% compared to the index, 28. 3 year, 14%, lifetime's 9%, so not too bad, okay? Looking at 9% lifetime, but like I said, don't rely on that. Let's look at the fundamentals, okay? Number one, what I want to take a look at is on a side note, it has been beat down pretty much just like our stock market. So now let's look at the top 10 holdings of this ETF, okay? So if you don't know, ETF is a basket of stocks, okay, that you can trade. So let's go ahead and take a look at the top 10 holdings. And I've bounced this off with, like I said, with my Indian coworkers back in India. These are legit the top companies and everyone's familiar with. It's like our companies here that we're familiar with, Coca-Cola, Microsoft, that kind of thing. So it's their version over there, okay, pretty much. So Reliance Industries, Infosys, Tata Consulting. This one is the biggest consulting company in the world right now. Hindustan Unilever, finance companies, Axis, paint companies. So the top in other holdings, there's also 186 other holdings. So the companies are solid, right? The companies are solid. Let's look at their fundamentals, right? The fund characteristics. So the price to earnings is 22.61. The price to book is 350. The price to sales is 253. Price to cash flow 1411. Distribution, it actually distributes 2.25%. So that's pretty good. I mean, better than nothing. Let's compare that to the S&P 500, right? Here we're going to compare the SPY. The Indian stuff should be lower for the upside. So right now the SPY is 25.14 for the price to earnings compared to the 22.61 for the Indian. So they've got a little bit of room to grow. The price to earnings, the price to book is 459 for the SPY, and the price to book is 349 compared to the price to sales 321, 253 for India, and the price to cash flow 1853 for SPY. 1411. So we can see here, just at a quick glance, obviously we would expect the Indian ETF to be lower in those particular metrics than the S&P 500, okay, because we expect the emerging markets to grow into something similar to ours. So they have a little room for growth, and they have been beat down, so this might be a good time to buy. So this is a good time to buy for me. So I am buying some of that, and let's keep going. So let's look at the portfolio composition right now. Let's break down the region. Obviously, it's just India. Let's look at the market cap. Market cap is large, mostly large, and a little bit of mid cap. So we're looking at mostly large cap Indian stocks. Okay, let's look at the sectors that they're investing. IT services. Obviously, India is big in IT, like we just talked about. The company Tata Consulting, that's huge, as well as oil and gas. I didn't know they did a lot of oil and gas, but now I know, so I learned something. Thrifts and mortgage, they're big on banking, personal products, cars, metals, pharmaceuticals. So it looks like they got a good mixture of the different sectors, heavy on IT, oil and gas, which is fine. Mortgages, banks, personal products, that's cool. That's cool. That's fine by me. Okay, no problem. I'll take that. So the quarterly returns, boom, 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 like we talked about. That's pretty good. Let's see what else we want to talk about. And a big thing we want to talk about now, so what sets this apart from other Indian ETFs, okay? We need to look at one of the biggest things to look at when you buy an ETF is the expenses, right? How much does it cost to hold this ETF, right? So we want our expenses to be as low as possible. So let's compare the expense ratios for the different ETFs, okay? So in this one, it is a 0.19 expense ratio, which is real good, okay? Let's compare those with the other ones. So here's a list of the similar ETFs. You'll see all these, and I am invested in some of those as well. But I'm gonna get the FLIN, F-L-I-N is the ticker symbol in case I didn't say it before. You could obviously see from the screen. The net expense ratio, what you'll be paying is 0.19%. That means you'll be paying $19 for every $1,000 that you have. Okay, so 19 bucks a year for every $1,000. Okay, just right off the top. INDA is the iShares version. PIN is pretty high. The Invesco one is 0.78, and you'll see these other ones are pretty high as well. So the biggest, if you talk to the man Warren Buffett, he's like, hey, you got to pay attention to the expenses, right? So the expenses is what's going to eat away into your returns. So if you're looking at the same kind of ETFs, which these kind of similar are, they have different holdings and stuff. So look around, do your own research. I'm not a financial guru. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. Don't take my advice or anything like that. Just do your own research. The expense ratio is one of the biggest things that you have to look for, as well as the fundamental value, right? So the value answer, I believe, based on all these price comparisons, look pretty good. They got a distribution yield better than our S&P. Let's see here. The S&P is distribution yields 1.2. The FLIN is 2.2, so almost double. So back to the expense ratio. So this is the one with the least expense ratio. So we want to focus on that quite a bit. So all in all, I think that it's a pretty good investment to have. Now, I'm not overloading on this, so let's talk about the percentages that I'm thinking. Eventually, I will, dollar cost average as well. I'm not just going to take the chunk and dump it in there, right? So I'm going to put in every time I get paid, right? Probably 10% of my money into my total investment, okay, of the stock market. Let's say that I'm going to do 70% in U.S. stocks, probably right off the bat 50% in the S&P 500 or some good old American, good ETF like we just saw SPY, or in my case VOO, which has less management fees, less net expenses than SPY, even 3 times less. But anyways, so I'm going to do 70% U.S. stocks, probably about 20% in foreign, 20 to 30% in foreign stocks, which will be a mix of this Indian ETF, China ETF, and German ETF. Okay, so you can invest in all the other places, but for me, this is what I'm doing. Maybe out of that 30%, maybe I'll do a 30-30-30 split, whatever. But or less in China because, you know, whatever. Won't get into that, but I'm, you know, we'll talk about that later. Invest what you can, invest what you're comfortable investing in, right, in foreign stocks, but I think it's a good diversification tool to not be 100% in America, in American stocks. I do pick individual foreign stocks as well, but that's a very small percentage, okay, very small percentage of what I'm putting in. I do have like Volkswagen, which is a great German car company, but we'll talk about that later, and I don't want to ramble on. We're focusing on the Indian ETF here. Tell me what you guys think. I mean, Indian's up and coming. We want to capitalize on their success. They're our allies and everything, and you know, there's no foreign tensions with them or anything like that. So we've got a good relationship with them, and it's wise for me to look out there to be able to capitalize and make money off their stock market. Might as well have my eyes open to different opportunities around the globe, right? So not a big chunk of my money, but a lot of people are seeing that they have more of an upside. A theory amongst some big guys, right, the Peter Schiffs of the world, that kind of thing, they invest heavily outside of America. So I'm thinking, you know, it might be a good idea if these dudes are doing it, just to look into it, not just following blindly, right, but thinking, oh, why is he doing that? All right, let's go and examine what he's doing. You know, let's see. You know, he's saying something about India. Okay, he's saying something about Germany. Okay, so take that. Don't just blindly copy what he's doing. Think about it. Do research. You know, don't follow anybody on the. Don't follow anybody just blindly, right? Obviously, do research and then make a decision for yourself. So leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. What foreign markets are you investing in or thinking about investing in? And let's make some money. What do you think? A great time to make money. And dollar cost average for the long term. And we'll hustle it, right? That's what we do. So, you know, do all your stuff. If you found value in this, hit that like button for the algorithm. Share this with someone who is thinking about investing. Get your free stocks on Robinhood. Hit that link in the description below to get your free stock. So like, comment, and subscribe. And thanks a lot so much for watching, guys. I wish you much financial success as well as success in life. Peace out. Keep investing and keep hustling. Peace.